Hello, friends. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hello, Woof. How are you? What is up? Can't get over how cute the drawing is. Oh, that drawing was done by our fabulous friend. It's Mumbles. She did all of my emotes, and they are adorable, I must say. My favorite one is probably the one of me drinking tea, this one. And hi, how are you, Lumina Games? Ooh, ow. Sorry, I have, I'm having foot issues this week. My foot that was really bothering me is doing better, but my other foot is now hurting a little bit as well. So I've just decided to buy myself some fuzzy slippers, even though it's summer, because I'm gonna need them for the fall. And I think maybe my feet are not happy with the hardwood floor. So, anyway, if I suddenly put my foot in the wrong spot again, you'll know. How are you, friends? What are you up to today? We're gonna be doing final preparation for Everyone's Child today. We've been working on this on and off for the last 2.5 weeks. This is week 3. And we have just a little bit more to finish. We're going to finish the final outline of the first book. I might hide a little bit of it just so I don't entirely give away the ending. And then we will be doing a little bit of the last little bit of the world building, hopefully today as well. And then next week, we're going to start writing. Having a pretty productive day. I'm about 4/10 of the way through today's word goal. Nice. 2/5. Yeah, I think 4/10 cuts down to 2/5. Pie, oh my god, what are you doing? Why? Pie, why? Hello, Pie, how are you? Lumina Games, I'm glad to hear that words are flowing for you today, but the kid is not my son? What? What is happening? Pie, how are you? How many hydrates is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Cheers. 1, 2, 3. Let's pause for a stretch. Drink that tea. I'm drinking, it's strawberry lemonade is the tea that I'm drinking right now. It's my last pitcher of it. I'm gonna yawn. We'll go to sleep now, Pie. Thank you so much for dropping by. 2 more hydrates to go. Like, oh my god, all right, we're gonna talk like a valley girl for the next 5 minutes. And we're gonna put on this really awesome hat that I got at Disney World. Pie, oh my god, Pie, what are you doing? I can tell that Pie has been lurking a lot because look at all these pints redeems. Hello, Tempest. It was actually 5, but I paused after 3. All right, let's move the camera so you can see these cute R's. Still got 33K. Oh my god, Pie. Can I drown the streamer in hydrates? Please don't. We want to actually get some work done today. And if I have to go AFK, then we won't get any writing done. What am I even doing? There we go. All right, I think I've got everything on my head now. Get some good sleep, Pie. Kisses and hugs. Hello, everybody. This is my far inferior to Ghost Pepper's lumpy space princess voice. You need to have twin tails to use that voice. I need to have globs. Oh my glob. I hope everybody is having a good Wednesday. It's halfway through the week. I actually this morning just finished editing book 2 of the Aravalia Chronicles. Okay, it's going really well. And I'm gonna be editing the 3rd book starting on Friday. I got the best part of this stream. Oh my god, yeah. I had the voice redeems turned off for a little while because I was reading on stream and I can't read in a voice. But now that I'm just doing regular writing again, there are some options. My husband, Ghost Pepper, lets you say anything in the accents, and our friend Bardal comes up with some really great ones, but I'm not that talented, so, like, there's, like, 4 options. Anyway, Tempest, how are you? What is up? I don't think I've seen you in a little while. How's it going? Pie drape time. I need to save up for the Southern Belle. That's one of my favorite accents. It's hard to stop that one because I grew up in a place where the accent's not that different, and once I get going, it just keeps naturally flowing. Been lurking? I'm so glad to hear that, Tempest. Thank you so much. Like, oh my god. So for anyone who's missed anything, a couple weeks ago, we started working on this new project with the working title of Everyone's Child. And it's a story about this girl, Aleith. And she is the daughter of a creator goddess. And she's going on a pilgrimage to try and fulfill a prophecy. We don't really know what the prophecy is or what it does yet. But we did do an outline of like the first 75% of the novel, you guys, like the last time we worked on this. The outline part anyway. Yesterday we did some world building, which was super fun. And we still have a few places that we have to do. But first, we're gonna try and finish the outline so that like we can start writing next week. Oh my god, right, Tempest? It's like so rad. If I didn't have so much left of my word goal, I'd finally make progress on one of my outlines. Like, you know what though? Outlining counts. Like you should count like your outlining towards your words as well, because you're writing and it's words. I actually have an outline that's like 10,000 words long. And it's for a trilogy, and it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's for a trilogy, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, so you can see that I've marked the 25% marks and the 50% marks because, like, it's good to know that you're hitting your plot beats at the appropriate times. And I started to mark 75%, but you can see that I've just have, like, I have some chapters where I haven't really decided what happens. We spent a lot of time outlining the plot for Aleith and Jaolin, who are 2 of the main characters, the last time. And I kind of left Ciri, the 3rd main character's plot, a little bit blank because I hadn't decided what to do with her. But I think I decided. I think she's gonna have a crisis of faith, you guys, because we've established that she's basically part of a cult. And I think it would be more interesting for her character if instead of being loyal the entire time, if she questioned what she's actually doing. So I'm thinking that she's gonna get in trouble with the cult leaders. I can't do to a thing I'm participating in and planning words don't count. Oh, okay. I get you. If you're doing something else and they set rules, then I guess you can't necessarily count the outlining. But under normal circumstances, I think it counts, you guys. That makes me think of NaNoWriMo. I have all of my planning. Just so you guys know, I have to switch so you can't really see it. But I'm gonna switch my outline for a minute. This is my this is my NaNoWriMo outline. Look at how long it is. Look at how much information is in there. That's my nano project for November. It's crazy. It's books 10 through 12 of a series. OMG. OMG, you guys. Is this the accent or was everything before an accent? That's the question you have to ask yourself, Tempest. Exiled Faye, hello. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for lurking. I actually don't count planning words on my word tracker. What? But it's work that you do. You totally should. At least not in the main tracker. So I have like a separate space. Like I have a big, I've shown this before, but I have a big word count tracker that I use to track all of my words. And I do track it separately, planning words from written words and editing words, but I still track them because I actually spend a lot of time outlining. It sounds insincere when I say it in this accent, but it's true. Anyway, you should give yourself credit for the planning that you do. If you do planning, not everybody does planning. Pantsing's fine too, okay, you guys? But if you do planning, give yourself credit for the time you spend on it because it's time, yo. It gets messy with how I track stuff. I have a very intricate Google sheet with a lot of formulas that would screw up. I mean, I have an Excel sheet. Hang on. Let me switch here so I don't accidentally show something you're not supposed to say. So this is what I have. You can't see it very well because everything's adjusted for this right now. But I basically have this sheet. And you can see that it tracks my different projects. And then if I look at the month, it has a spot for planned, written, and edited. And then I just put in the numbers and it adds it all up. And at the end of the month, it spits out this number of how many words I did for that month. And it's super helpful. Yeah, my friend Flutterdye made this for me. She's amazing. She's like the spreadsheet queen. And if anybody wants a copy of this, a blank copy to use for yourself, I can put it in the Discord. I have monthly, daily, yearly, as well as goal tracking, averages, project data, archive stuff. By project word tracking, it's cray-cray. I get what you mean. I have another thing. Hang on, I have to hide it again. Some of the information in some of these sheets is secret. But I have this. And then this is what I use to track my individual projects, right? So like this is the project I'm editing right now. It's on its second editing pass, and you can see that I mark it off as I go. So I just finished book 2 today. I'll mark it all off at the end of the week, and then I'll start book 3. Thank you, Illumina Games. I like to make these trackers for myself because if they're not pretty, then I won't use them. I'm gonna start talking like normal now because that has been time. But yeah, I like to do it. I like to make them pretty because otherwise I just won't use them. And I kind of come up with a different picture for each project. This is gonna be my nano project. So I'm gonna be starting that actually hopefully later this month, but It's going to take so long to write that it's going to be my nano project. And then I basically just track what I'm doing for each of my projects in there. So I definitely get having like a way crazy tracking system, because I have 2 separate places where I track everything. I've been slowly adding features to my tracking sheet every few months. I get it. I have like, it's also time to take off the ears in the hat. But yeah, I've developed this system over like time that works for me. But all I'll say is, however you track it, just make sure you're giving yourself credit. If you spend time planning, just make sure you're giving yourself credit for it, because it is time and it is energy and it is words. And if you're not counting it, then like if you're not giving yourself credit for spending that as work time, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. I forgot to grab new tissues. I'm out of tissues, so hopefully I won't be as sniffly today as I was yesterday. Oh, Shiny, I definitely need this edition. I feel you. I feel you. So yeah, let's take a look at this outline. So basically, to give a rundown, we basically we start with the main character, Aleith, and she's on a pilgrimage. She kind of gets diverted from this pilgrimage by the Council of Mages, who we've established are kind of a big deal in this world because they determine the laws for all magic users across all kingdoms. They teleport her against her will to their haven. They have a confrontation with her. It doesn't end well. She ends up in one of their prisons, and there she meets a man named Jalen, who we've sort of met through the grapevine. He was looking for something. He sort of failed a quest for the mages, so he ended up in prison too. He makes a deal with Aleith and says, I'll get you out of here if you basically help me get away from the mages. They strike this bargain, but as soon as Aleith gets free of mage prison, she like attacks and sets everything on fire. And so Jalen has to kind of talk her down and be like, we got to get out of here. They escape from the mages and they go to this place, which we haven't quite built yet, but it's called the Place of Great Purpose. And I'm thinking it's a ruin. We're going to work on that a little bit later today. And here, Aleith makes a pledge to begin her pilgrimage anew, to start this journey that will take her to this ultimate prophecy she has to fulfill. And this time, Jalen comes with her. Now, she believes that she will have to complete this quest on her own, but ultimately, she has given a pledge to Jalen that they could travel together for a time. And so she feels that she needs to maintain that, right? Jalen also makes a promise to himself that he will try and find a way to break his curse because he is infected by a ancient form of forbidden magic that he has been unable as yet to get rid of. They set off together. They begin this pilgrimage. And meanwhile, our other main character, Ciri, is sort of watching their progress, monitoring them, but she also has her own stuff going on. She's part of a group called the Watchers, who believe that there is an ultimate destiny for the world that they live in, and it is their job to guide this destiny into fruition. So they interfere with the world insofar as they try to make sure that the things happen the way that they're supposed to. Ciri is what is called a goddess in training, and she has been chosen by the Watchers to keep an eye on Jalen and Aleith and their journey, because at a certain point in time, she may be called to interfere with that journey and make sure it ends a certain way. She is the second such party who is doing so because, as we know, the mages have already interfered. So far, we know that Ciri passes a test to become a higher level initiate in her order, and she also attends a ceremony of ascension where one of her colleagues sort of reaches godhood, which is the ultimate goal of everyone in the Watchers. But after this happens, after this ceremony takes place, the leadership of the Watchers doesn't change. This ascension apparently causes her colleague to vanish. And so Ciri decides to go poking into this situation and find out sort of what she's getting into. And that is, I think, the part that we have to fill out a little bit more. So this is kind of what we did. This is kind of the outline. We're sort of in the first half of the outline here still. And I had outlined a little bit further with Aleith and Jalen, but I want to take some time to go over Ciri's outline. This sounds so fascinating. Thank you. I hope it is. This is the novel that I'm going to write on stream for the next few weeks. So hopefully it's an interesting story. So we have Chapter 7 is when Ciri attends the ceremony of ascension. And then we have Chapter 10. Ciri is hard at work preparing for her task to observe Aleith's journey. She's not yet left the Watcher's compound. Her colleague who underwent ascension appears to have gone missing. They're not part of the ruling council, but everyone seems happy and pleased that all is normal. Ciri has her first crisis of conscience, wondering if her reward will be what she actually hopes it will be. And this is where I want to expand a little and say that she starts poking into the affairs of her superiors, trying to figure out what happened to her colleague, and she gets caught. So that will be Ciri's halfway point, is sort of that she decides to go snooping, she gets caught, and then she kind of has to get out of trouble. So we have Aleith and Jalen are continuing on the second part of the pilgrimage, which involves descending into a cave. Inside the cave, there is a shrine to 3 ancient deities who have been lost to time. Their names have been lost to time. But it turns out that they're not actually statues in this shrine. They're actually the sleeping pieces of these celestial figures. They are awakened by Aleith and Jalen, and the 3 sleeping knights, as they are called, begin to test Aleith as part of her pilgrimage. I have already established the details of Tetrasil, the first of the knights, how they will test Aleith. And then I have to, when we get a little bit further, I'm going to outline Srillix's test. Srillix is the Beastmaster. And that's going to be sort of the climax of the book. But for Ciri, I think she's basically going to end up going on the run and getting hunted by her own people. And I sort of want her fate to be a little bit up in the air at the end of the book as well. Definitely something I'd pick up on premise alone. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I have been uploading the VODs of all of the world building process and all of like the character creation and all that to YouTube. I may as well show it. I'll pop over there quick. So if you go into playlists, there's actually a making of everyone's child playlist, and I am adding to this as we go. So I just uploaded yesterday's VOD. I just did the export for that this morning. So it should go up tomorrow morning on YouTube and get added to this playlist. Likewise, sometime on Friday, this VOD should be available on YouTube as well. They'll be on Twitch for a little while, but they expire after 2 weeks. So anything that you miss in VOD form, you can find on YouTube. There's also some videos of me reading the first couple chapters of Arvalia Chronicles when I was doing out loud edits for that. And there are some videos of me doing cover creation as well. I don't upload all of my VODs because some of them contain spoilers. So I let those sort of disappear into the void. But anything that isn't spoilery or anything right now that's related to this particular project, since we've been doing it entirely on stream, is there for you to find and view if you would like. So I'm trying to decide. I found before that when I was outlining, it was really helpful to just turn on the sprint timer and see how far I could go in a sprint. So I might do that. I have to fill in the halfway mark for Ciri, and then start working on the rest of the Elaith and Jalen bit. So the first 11 chapters, which is pretty much the first half of the book, is pretty solid. And then I have about 25% more of the Elaith and Jalen plot already fleshed out, with just a couple little notes on the ending bit. And I just need to spend a little bit of time filling in Ciri. So probably until I hit chapter 15, I'll show what I'm typing, and then I'll probably switch to hiding the words and making myself big. Because even though we're going to write this on stream and edit it on stream and all that kind of stuff, I think it would be good to not entirely spoil the ending, because hopefully people are going to want to read, hopefully people who saw some of these streams are going to want to read the book as well. So we might leave a little bit of it up to mystery. But let's go ahead and turn on the sprint timer. Actually, I'm do something I should have done off stream, but I should update and say what I'm actually working on. I should update the project thing on my screen. There are so many things that I do live on the air that I really should think to do beforehand. Current projects. Can I not? Position, size, and style. I really want it to let me just move this with... Nope. There we go. I know you guys can't see what's happening on my screen, but it's a lot of me trying to get the program to let me move things the way I want to move it. There we go. Let's hit save. Just because I have had the wrong current project on there for a while. I made that off center, didn't I? That should be a bit more centered. There we go. We have what I'm actually working on screen now. Halo Banshee, hello, how are you? What is up? Chat disappeared. Oh, it just cleared because I hit the save button. It should reappear as things go. My apologies. I really should edit this stuff off screen, but I always forget. Gonna try and finish this chapter, which is already at 6K. Hey, if you want to, you can always break it down later. The important thing is to get all the story written. Now we're gonna do the 20-minute sprint. We're gonna stretch first. Halo, how are you? What is up? Doing okay, got good and bad news, but it's not too bad. Oh no, Halo, do you want to talk about it? You don't have to, no pressure, but if you would like to share your good news and bad news with us, please feel free. I hope it is the sort of bad news that can either be worked around or circumvented or something like that. Talk about breaking down. I'm only at chapter 6 and I'm already at 38K for the project with 23 chapters to go. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know about you, but for me, I overwrite. So like, I just dump a bunch of information into my story and I'm like, I will fix this later. I cut a lot during edits. Let me fix my foot pillow. Since my feet apparently hate me. Usually I'm an underwriter. Oh, interesting. So do you feel like for this project, the words are flowing a bit more easily for you than normal? Or do you think you're still gonna have to go in and add a bunch of stuff? Bad news is simply that it's unofficial and won't be officially a thing till my girlfriend is here with me and we are in Scotland. The good news is I am technically engaged. Halo, that's amazing! Congratulations! I already broke this into a duology because it was going to be too long, but now book 1 is going to be too long. Lumina Games. What is one book in my head is a trilogy on paper. I feel you 100%. I think it's just a very ambitious story. Nothing wrong with that, you know? Let it grow as big as it's going to grow. Everybody send some love and congrats to Halo. Even if it's unofficial right now, it's still good news. All right, as promised, I'm gonna put 20 minutes on the timer. I'm gonna see if I can pound out some more of this outline. If I can remember where my buttons are. There it is. Polytangle Fae romance with a war and a chosen one B plot. Dang, that does sound like an interesting project, and ambitious, but also very interesting. All of my stories start out like that. I think they're going to be simple, and then there's like 3 million other things going on. Sneeze. Sorry, I hope that wasn't very loud in the mic. The only reason it's unofficial is because I haven't gotten down to one knee with a ring, but I plan to do that in front of a castle. That's the best place to get down in one knee, Halo. I can see why you're waiting. Sorry, the boys downstairs are being very loud today. I hope it's not coming through on the mic. So these are our turning points. Better part is that Eileen Donnan Castle, a castle in the Highlands of Scotland, and it's also technically owned by my family. What? Halo, that's so cool. Thanks for the congrats, and basically a princess by the end. That is so awesome, Halo. Seriously, there aren't words to express, first of all, how cool a proposal that is, and second of all, how happy I am to hear that you're getting engaged. You're gonna make this girl practically a princess. Indeed. That's so awesome. It is, it is. Man, I write about actual princesses in my fiction, but I've never had anyone get down on bended knee in front of a castle. Again, I hope stray voices aren't coming through on the microphone. All right, so I have one spot for Siri here. And one spot for Siri here. And I kind of want to leave it up to... kind of want to leave her fate hanging a little in the air. Probably gonna switch to hiding the text at this point. Moving down with my BF soon, and if he doesn't propose within the first few days, I'm gonna have to drop down on one knee myself. Hey, that'll still be an awesome story. I think he has a plan. Ooh, has he been plotting? I'm a big believer in any person can propose, right? We don't necessarily have to conform to the old gender norms, but if he's got a plan, hopefully he'll bring it to fruition before you can outplan him. I think it would be hilarious, because I have this soft spot for, like, romances. I think it would be hilarious to write, like, a romance story where two people in the same relationship were, like, both planning this big epic proposal, and they basically have to, like, race each other to see who pulls it off first. It would be pretty cool. It would be pretty funny. He's been hinting at it for a while. I think he already has a ring. Ooh! Ooh. Well, I hope it's a good one. I hope it's an epic one. I'm gonna be big for a while. Hello, how are you? And words are gonna be a little bit small. Let me adjust them. Display capture. So that you can at least see the organization, if not the actual words being written. I saw a video of two girls who went to Disney World or something, and one went to propose to the other, and the other one pulled out a ring too. They had both planned the same proposal without each other knowing. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I have told this man I'd accept a proposal with a ring pop at this point. I just want to marry him. Aw. I love it when people are so in love that, like, the big stuff is just... Like, because I think people get the idea, like, you have to have a really impressive proposal in order to convince someone to marry you. But it's like, no, that's just fluff, right? That's just the icing on the cake. The cake is you love each other and you want to spend your life together. And it's just a bonus that you get to do all that other fun stuff, right? That you get to have the fancy proposal or the you know, the surprise this or you know, the fancy wedding or whatever. It's the love that's really the best part. I do have to blow my nose. I apologize, because this is going to be a big, a big blank spot for a second while I blow my nose. My husband and I are so socially anxious we didn't even want a wedding ceremony. We did the bare minimum with an ordained friend that had a luncheon with family, then had a luncheon with family and friends. Hey, I mean... If it's what made you guys happy, that's, like, the most important thing. We were like, we don't want people sitting there staring at us while we say vows. I can get behind that. We didn't have a super expensive wedding, Ghost and I, either, because, I mean, I was 18. We had, like, no money to spend on, like, a location wedding. But we pretty much got everything we wanted, right? We had it in my aunt's nice backyard under an arch of flowers, and we had some dancing afterwards, a nice dinner. It was great. Sadly, I don't think we'll have the wedding at the castle. It's too damn expensive. Exactly. But I bet the proposal will make her feel like a princess anyway. That's, you know, expectations. All right, I'm back. You only need one kidney? True, but you should save the second one for an emergency. Sorry. I have a very dark sense of humor, and I realized as soon as I said that, that was one of my darker jokes. I'm just checking how many scenes I have set aside for this character because I felt like I had one too few, but I think it might actually work out. I have given myself a specific timeline for writing this book, so I'm trying to plan it in such a way that I will be able to write it in that time. But I'm also trying to keep it open to where if it seems like it needs something more or needs to be longer or needs an expansion, that I can account for that as well. Need to actually focus or I'm not going to hit 10K. You can do it, Lumina Games. I'm going to close out the scene I'm writing. Spent too long in it already. I hate that feeling where you're like, okay, guys, we need to wrap this up now. I always try to blame my characters. Guys, can you like stop talking and just end the scene now? Thanks, bye. Did we lose the timer? Where did it go? Oh, because I switched. Because I switched views, it didn't carry over the timer. I'm so sorry. It actually, I forgot that that would happen. Let's just start a 10-minute timer. There we go. There we go. Problem fixed. That's what I get for editing a first-person novel at the same time as drafting a third-person novel. Oh my gosh, I imagine that is pretty challenging. Might have to move places if the sun is going to shine so dang hard. Oh no! Yeah, I'm kind of ready for hoodie weather to come back myself. Only thing I don't like about OneNote is that I can't use my directional keys to inch my paragraphs along, so I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to drag things into the exact spacing that I want them. I love everything else about this program, but not that. It looks like we have probably finished a 20-minute timer, even though I accidentally turned it off in the middle. So probably, it's probably about time for me to have to run ads again. I'm trying to manually run ads now so that you guys won't see them in the middle of sprints or in the middle of conversations, but I do have to run them, I believe, every hour in order to prevent people from getting pre-rolls when they come to the channel. So we're probably going to take a quick break in a few minutes, and I'm going to make some tea. I hope, fingers crossed, in another 20-minute sprint, I can finish this outline, and then we can do a last little bit of world building before we wrap up for the day. I did about 800 words for that one. That's awesome, Lumina Games. That's great, especially considering how much we were talking and distracting you during that. Before I go on break, hey Katya, I come in time for tea time. Indeed! I'm drinking a wild currant black tea today, which is pretty good. But before I go on break, I just want to mention, hang on. I'll actually switch displays again quickly. The writing timer is going to go off because I forgot that it would change when I moved. I just want to talk about this thing quickly. The little bar that's down at the bottom of the screen. My husband and I are currently raising money to buy new office chairs. The chairs that we have are not great. They were kind of just bargain bin chairs because our last chairs were so old that they were also falling apart. I have a special cushion that I have to use to keep this chair from destroying my back, and Ghost's chair is actually held together by duct tape right now. So we're trying to get actual nice chairs, ergonomic chairs, like custom made for each of us. So we had some really big expenses at the beginning of the summer. Otherwise we would have bought these chairs by now. So we're just doing this fun little divorce court chairathon. Don't worry, no one's getting a divorce. That's just, divorce court is just what we call our together streams that we do together. So yeah, so far we have raised $525 towards the goal. We have unlocked already a tipsy chat, which means I am going to probably in October around Thanksgiving time here in Canada. I'm going to drink wine and chat with you guys and just get tipsy and have fun. We'll see what antics we get up to. Ghost Pepper is going to do a hot sauce stream. We are going to do a divorce court brunch stream, and if we hit $600, we will upgrade that divorce court brunch stream to a 12-hour stream. We won't eat brunch the entire time, but we will stick around for 12 hours doing all kinds of different things. We have also unlocked a 12-hour writing stream. I'm probably going to do that in November during NaNoWriMo. And we have also unlocked the dungeon map giveaway. My husband, Ghost Pepper, is really good with the program Dungeon Draft. I have no patience for it, but he's really good with it. Anyone who donates $5 or more to the Chairathon will be entered to win the dungeon map giveaway. It is a custom map that he will set up for a D&D campaign for you. I believe it can be a combat map or a city map, depending on what you're looking for. 12-hour brunch. Yeah. Yeah, it won't be 12-hour brunch. That would be one hell of a brunch. But brunch will probably only be the first little bit of the stream. So that's what's happening. If we get to $700, I'm actually going to read one of my books on stream. I'm probably going to break it up across a couple of streams just to save my voice. But I will be doing that. And if we get to 800, Ghost ran basically a story arc that took place in a desert, where his characters had to go after these dukes that had sort of taken over this portion of the world. And he's actually going to package that into an adventure module that other people can run if we get that far. So we've tried to come up with a lot of really cool things to entertain you guys, depending on how far we get. We appreciate everyone who has donated. We appreciate everyone who decides to donate. And if you can't donate, don't worry, we get it. You know, the world is the way it is, and you got to take care of yourself first. 12-hour, 100 courses. Yes. Someone would have to cook it too. So yeah, I'm super excited about the things that we've already unlocked. If we get all the way to the 1200, which is what we originally estimated we would need to get 2 chairs, we will upgrade that divorce court stream to a 24-hour stream, and it will be my first ever 24-hour stream. So we're doing this until the end of September. So if you hit !divorce, you can get the, I'll actually do it now just in case anyone is curious. You can check out the donation link, and if you do divorce rewards, hard to say, easier to type, it should bring up this image so that you can check out where, what the rewards are for the future. So my husband is also promoting this for all of his streams for this month as well. And the rewards are a split between the two of us. So yeah, if you want to get me to my first 24-hour stream, this is it. Because I have said before that I probably wouldn't do many 24-hour streams because my sleep schedule is very finicky. But I'm willing to do it if we get that far on the chairathon. I volunteered to make that 24-hour stream a reality. I will probably have regrets, but I'm dedicated to making it happen if we get that far. Streams like this make me want to start streaming. Honestly, Lumina Games, go for it. I used to think that no one would show up if I did streams. I was like, I'm just typing words. It's going to be so boring, and who's even going to be interested in seeing that? And every time I've streamed, every time I turn on the camera and share the crazy things coming out of my head, people come and people chat with me and people hang out and they do points redeems, and sometimes we get onto really interesting tangent conversations, and I adore every minute of it. So if you're thinking, hey, it might be cool to give that a try, do it. Because if you're thinking nobody will show up, they totally will. The writing community here on Twitch is amazing. I still consider myself fairly new, even though I guess I've been doing this for almost a year now. It'll be a year in November. I can't even believe it's been that long. Oh my goodness. People will come and people will hang out, and it will always be rewarding. So, and if you're like, oh, I could never write where people could see on screen, don't worry. Lots of writers don't show what they're writing on their writing streams. You don't have to. It's a small community, but it's super nice and supportive. It totally is. This is my new favorite writing stream. Oh my gosh, Lumina Games, thank you so much. I honestly just want to create a chill place for people to hang out, get some work done, chat about writing and whatever other creative stuff comes up. And that's pretty much it. I want to be here for people and just be a nice, safe space. And that's pretty much what I do. Sometimes when I say it out loud, I'm like, it doesn't sound very exciting, but like I said, people come. And I have yet to meet a writer on Twitch that was not nice and supportive to other writers. I think we all realize that writing is hard and that sometimes it's easier when you can share it with people. And that's what we do. We're here to share the burden, make it easier. And if you have any like things that you want to bounce off people, any questions, any like creative discussions, we're here for that too. Sometimes we don't get as much writing done as we'd like because we get on tangents, and that's cool too. Hard and heartbreaking at times. Absolutely. I also think especially non-writers get this idea that writing is easy, that you just kind of sit down and these ideas fall out of your head, and it's not like that at all. I was having, and I shout out to Woof if you're still lurking in chat, I don't know, but I was talking to It's Woof this morning because he's one of my beta readers, and I've been going through his notes on my Arvalia Chronicles, and he pointed out some holes that I sort of have to address in the plot. And I did have a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I've written 9 books with these characters and all of them are horrible. I was like, I suddenly have no faith in any of the plot lines. What am I doing? It's a total train wreck. I'm going to have to start over. And sometimes writing is like that. Sometimes writing is having that total moment of, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? And not being able to stop, because if you stop, it'll be so much worse. I do produce a ton of ideas, but 90% of them are crap. I mean, I feel that. That's like mood. The hard part is making them make sense. The worst for me is when I know that I have an idea and I have like I have an end point for a story and I have a beginning, and I'm like, guys, I'm like to my characters, I'm like, guys, how do we get from beginning to end? And they're just like, I don't know, here's a really cool thing that happens in chapter 20. And I'm like, but what happens in chapter 5? And they're like, I don't know. I don't know about chapter 5. I'm way past there. And I'm like, but guys, I can't just leap the track to catch up to you. Yep. Romanticized as something that people agonize over and then meet the love of their life and go from not having any ideas to a draft that can be published. Yeah, my ideas are fantastic. It's just doing justice that's a nightmare. No, totally. And I mean, everyone has those days where you're like, writing is amazing. Like, why can't it always be like this? And then literally the next day you'll be like, why did I try to do this? What was I thinking? Who am I? What insanity possessed me? And writing is my full-time gig, so I go through that sometimes all in the same day. So that's why I'm here. That's why I do this, so that when you're having an amazing moment, you have someone to share it with, and when you're having a oh my God, what am I doing moment, you have someone to share that with too. And then the days where you want to bury your head in the sand, oh no, I know. Had a fantastic day yesterday, and today I was like, this doesn't fit with my edits anymore. Hugs to you, Katya, hugs. Because those are the worst days. I mean, hopefully you'll wake up tomorrow and everything will click into place and you'll have made it work. Because sometimes that does happen, but sometimes you have to bang your head against the wall for... I start thinking, I write in trilogies. My big projects, I write in trilogies and I edit in trilogies. I'm starting to think about fixes for books 7, 8, and 9, because I wrote them at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And I have not yet thought about, I know where all my plot holes are, but I have not yet thought of any solutions for fixing them. I'm like, yeah, there's a giant plot hole here. I know what's going on. I know what needs to happen. I have no idea how to fix it. So I'm starting to sort of poke at those holes and be like, what do I put in here to make this work? But I have all of these different books at different draft stages. And so now I've just sent off books 4, 5, and 6 to my betas, and I'm like, what holes are they going to find? What did I miss? What did I forget? Did I make all of it make sense? No, writing is just like that. Mindset match. Hey, how are you? I owe you an email. I apologize. I didn't get to send it to you this morning. I honestly started writing a novel by accident after offering feedback to a friend on building intrigue and then creating an example character. Yeah, and then that character was like, hey, bud, I have a story. You gonna write it? Just power through those moments and suddenly I'm in flow state again. Nice. Katya. Nice. I have a fantastic editor that kicks my butt into shape, but I feel you about plot holes. Yeah, no, I rely on my betas very heavily because I try so hard to look at the story from every angle, but you can't keep track of it all. You need someone else to look at it. I'm editing one of my novels and it's actually really good, and then sometimes I just go, I don't know what I'm doing, and I put it into alphas as soon as this edit is done and help me. Yeah. So it's interesting too how you can go from one day to another on the same project. And one day you'll be like, this is great. This is amazing. I love it. And then the next day you look at the exact same project and you're like, what am I doing? What is this? This is awful. And then a week later you might be like, hey, this is great again. Yep. And I'll never forget the one time we were playing Gartic Phone and we did icebreaker mode and I did Striker writing her new novel. And my husband literally drew me in front of my computer screen crying with the words existential crisis over my head. And he thought I would be mad. And I was like, this is the realest depiction of me ever. This is actually the most captured, like, my husband has seen me in that phase of writing and understands it and captured it perfectly in stick figure form. And I still to this day can't stop laughing about it because it's like, that's how you know, that's how you know that your spouse, like, sees you, is when they can see something like that, but still be like, honey, you're a great writer. You're amazing. Sometimes I read back to the chapters I actually like to motivate myself. That's a good idea. I do that a lot too. Who am I? Yes. Who am I that I thought I could do this? What was I thinking? I'm gonna go put the kettle on. As promised. I do apologize because I have to run ads. I have to run the ads so that people won't get pre-rolls. And hopefully it won't, like, I don't know how long I can go without it interrupting you guys and just, like, giving you an ad. So I'm going to go to my BRB screen and you might see ads run. I'm going to do 45 seconds of ads just to get rid of the pre-rolls. Constant existential crisis. Yep. I don't want to get into translating my work. My native language is Spanish, but for whatever reason, I'm crap at writing in Spanish. Oh gosh, so do you do all of your writing in English, Katya? I imagine that's so much harder if it's your second language. We have a friend who hangs out, Neo, who writes in French, who has promised to do some of his writing in English so I can read it. And I'm like, dude, don't strain yourself if it's easier to write in French. My mom already gave me a dirty look because she wants to read my books, but she doesn't speak English. Oh no! I mean, hopefully, once it's finished, it can be translated. Need a bathroom break. Yes, me too. So let us do the ad break quick, and then we'll have tea, and we'll do another writing sprint. And I won't switch screens in the middle of it this time and mess it up. I am partially back. I'm giving my tea just an extra minute to steep because it's a second steep. So it just needs a little extra time to pull the flavor out. But I have so many ideas coming to me while I'm standing in the kitchen. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to change this to a series scene. So I only have 4 more scenes to plan out, and then 2 more places. The place of great purpose, which I think is going to be a ruin, and something that I'm just calling the meadow, but I think I'm going to change it to being some kind of valley? Question mark? And once I have these things figured out, I'll actually be ready to start writing this next week, which I'm super excited about. Ideas always come when you're staring into nothingness. Yeah, as soon as you don't have a way to write it down, your brain is like, hey, what about this? And what about that? And what about this other thing? I set myself up for the perfect way to introduce the importance of the moon stars to the Fae. Oh, nice, Illumina Games. Feel free to share details if you want. Don't have to. Keep secrets if you like. But we always love to hear about other people's ideas as well. Oh my goodness. I was really worried because this idea, this Everyone's Child, has been hanging out in the back of my brain for a really long time. I think I mentioned before, I wrote about 11,000 words of this while I was in college, which for those that don't know, that was a while ago. Over a decade ago. And it's something that I've poked and prodded at this idea a couple of times, but I had never really gotten very far with it. And one of the reasons why I thought it would be cool to tackle this project as like a streamed project was because I kind of hoped that when the cards were on the table and the camera was turned on and people were watching me, that the need to produce something would help me sort of get over that sort of barrier. And it's worked out really well. I was worried that I would be forcing too much. But once I sort of got back in touch with the idea and sort of let it take off, it has been flowing really naturally. And I actually have several ideas for the second book already as well, even though I haven't even written the first one. So that's really encouraging to me. Did you say Fae Prince? Sign me up for that tour. The Fae Prince Gate Guardian are touring the MC around the castle, and they're taking her up to the observatory. Ooh! She accidentally became fake engaged to a Fae Prince. What? What? Wait, so did they like pretend to get engaged, or like she agreed to something she didn't know she was agreeing to? Is it gonna turn into a real relationship? Is it gonna be like they're fake engaged but then they fall in real love? Please tell me that's gonna happen. I would love that so much. If I was her, it would be neither accidental nor fake, right? I think I've mentioned this, but I have a soft spot for like romantic subplots, especially if they're well written. I will read a cheesy romance any day, like even if it's not the best written, but if it's a good written romantic subplot, oh my gosh, that's like my bread and butter right there. She agreed with the knowledge of what she was getting into, and yes, she instead Prince let someone else get into a poly. Ooh! Lumina, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for your story. I love it. The amount of like accidental relationships. I actually probably should have more accidental relationships in my work, but I have in the Aravalia Chronicles, the series that I've been working on before we were working on Everyone's Child. I have a poly couple in there. It's my first time writing. I guess I shouldn't say couple, but I guess I don't know how you quantify that, but I have a poly relationship, I guess I should say, where two of the characters sort of started out together, and then they sort of met. I shouldn't say sort of. They meet another person who they start to have develop a relationship with. And it's really interesting because the two original characters react differently to the changes in their relationship. One of them is very comfortable and easygoing about it, and the other one is constantly like, I wouldn't say worried, but he's the sort of person who just doesn't deal well with emotions. Like, he's fine with having emotions in a general sense, and he's fine with, you know, he does his best to try to express them, but he's just not very good at it. So he constantly worries that, like, he's not handling things well, but he's fine. And it's just really interesting to write the difference in the characters, like having one be really confident about, like, yeah, everything's fine, and the other one being like, am I doing this right? Am I emotioning properly? When does this come out again? Yeah, when will it be finished, Lumina? When can we read? She ended up in the Fae realm with no way home, and if humans aren't spoken for, traditional Fae have a right to slay them, but this prince disagrees with that. So he fake engaged with her, rather than like a maid or a smith, is because she could be good for peace, for the war. Ooh. Does anyone else write not knowing where the story will go or where the chapter will go? Yes. I mean, I have an outline, but sometimes the outline is something happens, ? And I actually, my Eternity's Empire series, which I just finished, I pantsed 90% of that series. 85% of that series. I had no idea where it was going. I just kind of let it do whatever. I was far into this one before I realized how it would end. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes my endings change, too. Like, sometimes my endings change along the way. I don't have poly relationships, but my stupid head is always shipping one couple with another. I get that, too, but then if you're the writer, sometimes you have to be careful with that, because you start shipping characters and they're like, oh no, we're making this real now. It's happening. And for me, not being in a poly relationship myself, I have friends who are in poly relationships that I speak to a lot when I'm writing about poly relationships. But for me, part of it has been like, I want to do justice to that type of relationship, especially because I know some people have preconceived notions about that kind of relationship. So I'm trying my best to be like, here is, you know, a poly couple in this fiction, and I'm trying to do justice to that, but it's way outside my wheelhouse. So I'm constantly messaging my friends and I'm like, does this work? Does this sound good? So yeah, fun times. But I've talked before about, I think it's so important to have a diverse set of characters, a diverse set of relationships. I even think that it's important to write about good solid friendships as well, because I think friendships often get lost in the mix. So I try to show all different types of love: familial, romantic, friendship. I do very loose outlines, so I always end up making changes. Same. I actually update my outline after each draft, so it actually matches what I wrote. Despite super thorough outlines, most of the scenes take off on their own. Indeed. And I try not to marry myself to my outline. I try to make it like a suggestion, like a guide. But if my characters veer off down to the left when my outline said to go right, I totally just follow them into the weeds. I only write romance just with a variety of subgenres. I mean, that's cool. I like romance, so I'm cool with that. My favorite subgenre is horror, but I don't do it often. I'm not a big horror person myself, but my husband loves horror, so I don't like to be scared. So I don't do a lot of horror movies and that kind of stuff, but I do love me a good romance. And I kind of let my characters take the the lead on that as well. Like, I basically had to rewrite a plot outline because I shouldn't say assigned, I had planned for one of my characters to get together with a certain character, and then another character came along and was like, no, that boy is mine. So I was like, all right. And then not only was other character like, that boy is mine, he was also like, that girl is mine too. Hence, the poly relationship that I've been writing. Because my characters were like, no, this is it. This is us. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to figure out how to write this. Horror romance is so much my cup of tea. Nice. I always need romance in my reading. I love a good romantic subplot, honestly. I like romance too, and I have a series I'm working on, but it's like way down the priority list. I feel you. I have so many ideas. I need them to put my head in a jar so that I can be around long enough to write all of the stuff that I have ideas for. I'm gonna go get my tea. I feel like I need to fix this divorce-a-thon bar here. Because I feel like on this screen, it's in the wrong spot? Alright, I'm gonna go get my tea, and then we're gonna do some actual writing. I once tried writing smut for the sake of writing smut and ended up giving it a plot. Oh my gosh, so I have mentioned before, I do have a pen name where I do write erotica. I won't say what it is because it's garbage and whatever, but I just write it for fun. But I have to give it a plot. It has to have enough plot to keep me interested or I get bored. So, like, I don't know. I won't say that I'm doing it wrong, but I'm like, it's pure self-indulgence. Like, I just write it for fun. Because sometimes it's nice to just have something that you can write that has no expectations. And like you're just whatever for it, but it has to have enough plot to keep me invested in the characters, because otherwise I'm just like, eh. So I choose what ideas I write purely based on how excited I am about the relationship. But that makes sense. I mean, everyone has different reasons why they bump stuff to the top, right? Oh yeah, I don't plan those stories. I just sit down and write whatever comes into my brain at the time. All right, tea, and then we will do more writing. Hang on. Where's the me? Where's the me tea? Whoops. There we go. This doesn't happen very often, but I think the tea actually came out better on the second steep because it's more fruity. It was more black tea-ish yesterday, and it's more fruity today. Hey, Bobicus. It is, we're drinking black currant tea today. Black currant and black tea. And we're doing an outline for finishing up this outline for this book. Vanilla romance can be very fulfilling and uplifting. It can be. I'm so glad this is not a I hate romance in my stories kind of chat. No way. I mean, first of all, everyone likes different things anyway, right? So if romance is your jam, like, don't feel guilty about it. And if it's not your jam, then, I mean, fine, but don't hate on it, right? Let people like what they like. Like, horror isn't my thing, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I hate horror stories. I'm sure horror stories are great. I can't handle them. I'm a baby. I honestly wish more books had romance subplots, right? I know everyone's like, I can't find a YA without romance, but I'm in a boat. I want to see MC get a smooch. It's just too cute to miss out on, right? The last thing I read is setting up an adorable enemies to lovers. Oh gosh, I love enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers more than I should. If you guys haven't read, what was it called? Nimona, I think it was called. Oh my gosh. Such the best. Gotta read. Great. It was a great webcomic that was eventually published, and I actually have it. I don't remember which bookshelf I have it on. I don't know if I can just grab it and, like, flash it, but it's so good. I have it sitting on a bookshelf somewhere, and it's, like, the best. If you like enemies to lovers, chef's kiss, man. Chef's kiss. I have one main character who's aromantic, but she's got enough plot. She doesn't need it. Nice. Enemies to lovers is probably my favorite trope, right? I think, too, because it's unexpected a lot of the time. Like, you don't necessarily start reading a book and think those two are going to smooch. So when they do, it's like, heck yeah. I definitely have one antagonist that wants to smooch one of my protagonists, but he's having none of it, so... I won't call that enemies to lovers, though, because that guy's really creepy. He doesn't deserve smooches. My favorite subtrope is evil, scary, deadly character is soft and won't hurt MC plus MC isn't scared of them. Lumina. I have some characters for you. Smooches for everyone, Bard. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling a bit better after eating some soup. I know you said earlier you weren't feeling the greatest. I hope you're getting some rest. Smooches for everyone except creepy dude. Indeed. Indeed. Thing is, that creepy dude had a wife who smooched him plenty before he became creepy, and then he became creepy. Did I just see coffee? It is not coffee, it is tea. This is a blackcurrant and black tea, wild blackcurrant and black tea. It's very delicious. The soup was yesterday, and I ended up tossing most of it. Oh no, but what were you eating today? Did you eat anything today, Bard? I hope your tummy is feeling better today. Just made tea too. Comf, what tea are you having? Also, hello, how are you? Creepy Paper, is that a show? I missed something there. You had a muffin? Well, I hope you're getting rest. I hope you're not working too hard, and I hope you're feeling better, Bard. Ah! Just me throwing my wedding ring across the room while I'm trying to put it on my finger. Nothing to be concerned about. I just realized we need to be in a meeting in 1 minute. Oh no! Come, good luck. Oh, what we do in the shadows. I haven't seen the last episode of the new season. No spoilers, please. Oh, right. Crepe Paper. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. I love that show so much, you guys. It's so good. No spoilers, because again, I haven't seen the latest episode of the new season, but if you haven't seen the episode Go Flip Yourself of the new season, it was one of my favorite episodes ever. Just absolutely nailed the hell out of that episode. And freaking Matthew Berry just makes that whole show, like, so unbelievably amazing. So again, I won't see anything, only seen the first episode of the new season. It's so good, Bard. My favorite episodes from the new season were Night Market and Go Flip Yourself. And they were so good. Just so good. Also, I totally ship a certain set of characters, and I'm really hoping that there's maybe an indication that maybe that ship will happen someday. Just saying. But can we just talk about how they've established, like, in the show that Nadia and Laszlo are married, but, like, are totally fine with Nandor and Laszlo also sometimes being a thing? Because I think that's just awesome. I'm gonna have to admit I won't get my daily goal. No! Lumina, you can do it! We're gonna have a sprint. You can do it. Is it a vampire and their friend who wants to be a vampire? Maybe, Bard. Maybe. Browse. Maybe. Quite possibly. Look, there are just two sweet boys that I want to have, you know, forever love. What's wrong with that? You know. After this week's episode, let's just say it's going to get interesting. Yeah, the last episode we saw, again, no spoilers, but the last episode we saw was called Freddy. And I'm just saying. I would have been furious with the way they ended season 3, except I knew they were getting a season 4, and I don't know for sure, but I think they've already gotten a season 5. They better have gotten to season 5. I could literally watch 10 hours of this show. I'm so sad that the episodes are only half an hour long. I just want, like, 10 hours of what we do in the shadows. Why can't we have that? I also love the references to the occasional dalliances between Nandor and Laszlo. Yeah, exactly. Like, I love the fact, too, that, like, Laszlo and Nadia are just totally cool with the fact that sometimes they have other relationships because their relationship is centuries old and they gotta mix it up sometimes. So, I could talk about this show for hours. I love it so much. And the original movie, I think it was a New Zealand movie, is so good too. So good. Okay, I promised a sprint, and it sounds like Lumina Games needs one, so let's do a sprint. Can't be blamed for shagging the Baron, come on. Right, exactly. Oh, I think that's my husband home. I hears him in the background. Maybe he'll come in and say hi to chat.
Nope.
Chat says hi to you.
Hi, chat.
He says hi. He won't come in, but he says hi. Where's the timer? There it is. Do I need to move it? I do. We'll move it and then we'll start it properly. Whoops. What have I done? I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. There we go. Bard says she hopes you had a good day at school. Bard says she hopes you had a good day at school. He did have a good day. Ghosting chat like that, I know, right? There he is.
Look how they make me dress. What they make me wear.
Gonna jump out tonight. Nice chatting. Exiled Faye, thank you so much for hanging out.
Bye, Exiled Faye.
I hope you have a good rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. PST, to do some more writing if you want to hang out. Nate Dog. That was my husband, ladies and gentlemen. The wonderful Ghost Peppa. Alright, where were we? No. Stop auto-correcting! Lurk, Bardell. Enjoy the lurk. I'm so glad you got to say hi to Ghost before you went into lurk mode. I hate it when I'm trying to type something a certain way and the program just keeps auto-correcting it to the wrong way. Welcome back, Comf Comf. I hope the meeting was short and easy. You just missed Ghost, but he is home. He says hi. Don't remember if I referenced something earlier. Now I gotta dig for it. Oh no! This is why I actually started doing outlines, was so that I could hopefully find that reference information more quickly, because I used to spend an inordinate amount of time scrolling through my own work to find details. Found the thing with very little digging? Nice! Good luck. Yes. That's always the best. put it down here, but I think this is actually... I'm trying to mark my climax. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to happen in this spot, but... I want the climax to be very close to the end of the book because this is a first in series, so we don't want to have a lot of falling action after the climax. We pretty much want to be like, this major thing happened, now we're getting ready for the next major thing to happen, essentially. Hey Laurel, how are you? Gonna give myself a break as soon as I hit 40k? That sounds like a good idea. I mean, 40k is a pretty impressive amount of words to have in a work in progress, I must say. That is nothing to shake a stick at. Trying to finish my D&D prep a few days before the game. Nice, comf. I try to do that too. I just finished planning session 1, which we're gonna do on the 17th. And I want to rough out my outline of session 2. Just so that I'm a little bit ahead. Indeed. It's good to get stuff done ahead of time so you can relax before the game. Oh gosh, comf. Ghost is like that too. He usually tries to get everything done Monday night, and then Winds of Chaos happens on Tuesday. But last night he was like, I'm gonna eat early so I can do a little bit of extra D&D stuff. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that I have finished fleshing out this outline. I'm pretty happy with it. The ending is a little bit sketchy. There's a lot of something happens, and I'm not entirely sure what happens in those spaces yet. But I'm decently happy with this. So I do have just 2 more places that I need to develop. The Place of Great Purpose and the Meadow, which, as I said, I think I'm going to turn into a valley. I think we've done everything else. I am going to switch back over to having the text on big mode, but if I switch in the middle of the sprint, it will mess up the sprint. So I'm going to let the sprint finish first. Yeah, and those are the last 2 places. A Giant Daddy Longlegs decided to join me for the last quarter of my shift, and I had to drive home in the rain, so now I'm under a blanket with 3 plushies. That sounds like an appropriate reaction to that. I'm doing pretty good. Getting big mode. Hello, Ghost Pepper. Comf says hi. She missed you when you were up here before. What was I saying? Yes, that sounds like an appropriate reaction to that kind of day. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling really good about this project now that we're almost finished with it. And I just have to decide a few more details. I'm pretty sure that this place of great purpose, which is where Aleith actually begins her pilgrimage, I want it to be a ruin. And I think it's going to be a ruin of a temple to the creator goddess, Aleith's mother. And we had mentioned that at some point in the distant past, the creator goddess essentially vanished from the world for some reason. So I'm thinking that maybe this is the place where she actually disappeared. This was her last known location, and it's one of the reasons why it's become a ruin, but also one of the reasons why it's still used for religious pilgrimages of this type. And I'm thinking, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that this is maybe the place where Aleith was born. So... Having so much fun in the stream. I'm so glad that you're having fun, Lumina Games. I hope you're getting some words in as well. Oh my goodness. I feel like I probably need to run ads again soon. I always forget. Please let me know if you're getting like interruptions or pre-rolls or something, because I'm trying to avoid that being a thing. That is the main thing that we're trying to avoid. Past 5K for the day. That's awesome. Lumina Games. Sometimes 6K is like what I get for the day. So 5K is pretty amazing for a daily word count. 10,000 words is a lot. I don't do that even on my best days usually. Not that anyone should measure their word counts by mine. I'm just saying. I think 5K is impressive. Okay. I'm just gonna jot a few things down here, even though we are still in the wrong mode. Actually, we're gonna pick a name here. Oops. We want this one. Place names. Let's see if we can find... They have ruins? Yeah. The Chaos Island. I might actually go for temple names. The first three names are descriptive names. The next three are descriptive names for a wide range of places of worship. The last two are actual names of places of worship, similar to how Greece had the Parthenon. Okay, so those are the ones we really want to look at. Slaquianora? My brain is a chaos island. I feel you, Laurel. 5K is astonishing. Sometimes the ambitious goal serves a purpose, and not hitting it still means it drove you to action. Exactly. Oh, Ghost Pepper, thank you for encouraging the writers. I appreciate it. Been working on getting back into the zone after my outlining break. It does take some time to build back up to your like previous. If you've taken a break from doing that many words, it does take some time. My record is 5 10K days in a row? That's amazing! That's exactly what it is for me. I learned that higher goals got me to work harder. I can usually hit them, but even on the days I don't, it improved my bad day significantly. Interesting. I'm actually the opposite. I find that if I set a small goal, it often helps me hit a large, like I just get going and then I momentum hit a bigger goal. But I don't do my goals by word counts anymore. I do them by scenes as well. So maybe that's partially why. Everyone's brain works differently, right? Whatever works for you is the best thing to do. Keel Clefairy? That sounds like a Pokemon. I like this one though. Abora. Let's go with that one. Large goals keep my procrastination in my ass because it stops me from going, oh, it'll only take me an hour. I can wait. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Do my goals by chapters. I'm similar, Laurel. I've also, though I've been doing this long enough to kind of learn how much I can do in a day as well, so I sort of plan accordingly. I don't give myself a ton of wiggle room most days, so... Alright, we have finished the writing timer, so I can switch my display back so that you can see the big one. Snozberries, hello! I start classes tomorrow, so I have 4 chapters to read before I get some sleep, and I have to be up at 3 a.m. Is that for class? You have to be up at 3 a.m.? Oh my goodness. Enjoy your lurk. Good luck with the reading. What I might do, I don't think I'm going to be going very much longer, but I might pop AFK here quickly and do another quick ad break because it has been about an hour since I ran ads and I don't want people to start getting pre-rolls. I think we've got about 20 more minutes of writing, and then I'm going to go feed Ghost Pepper. So don't panic if you see ads. I'm just going to do a quick 30-second ad roll while I pop AFK, and then we'll get this last bit of world building done. The Place of Great Purpose, I think, is just going to be a ruined temple. I don't think there's going to be a lot to it. The meadow is going to take a little bit more time, so I think that's what we're going to spend the last couple minutes on. Classes are early and I'll need to reread some and have coffee before I have to be there. That makes sense. That seems like what time is your first class? That seems like a really early first class. I used to have a rough time if I had to be at the school by 8 a.m. though, so I get you. I get you. BRB. I'm back. I finally remembered to grab a new box of tissues because I used up my last tissue right before stream started. Very good, very good. First class is 7 a.m. Oh my gosh, that's so early. So that gives me time for coffee, reading, and a shower. Good luck, Snoz. That is an early class. When did Ghost Pepper tell you guys about Nate Dogg? How did that happen? The big P-E-double-P-R. How did this occur? So the place of great purpose was once known as Aborha Cathedral. It was once one of the primary temples to the creator goddess, everyone's mother, and is said that she herself often appeared before the congregation in days of old. Unfortunately, the site is now a ruin. The walls have crumbled. No sign of the once wooden roofs remain, and the grand stained glass mosaics have either been stolen or shattered. So I've pretty much just written down everything we said before at the end of the last sprint. This was once a temple. It has crumbled to ruin. No one is sure quite why it's been allowed to fall to ruin. Some people believe that the creator goddess was last seen here and that her legendary disappearance took place here, which may have led people to believe it was cursed. But it is still a place of religious significance, and many people still begin or end their religious pilgrimages or spiritual seeking journeys in this location for that reason. And it's possible that our main character, Aleith, was actually born here. I don't even remember fully. I just remember him saying it in a stream, and I was like, cool, I will remember this forever. I think there's a clip of it. I know he rehashed how it happened during a Cult of the Lamb. Oh, it happened during a Cult of the Lamb stream. Okay. So it's relatively recent. Randomly started rethinking the vibe time period of this novel, and I almost want to write something very similar to this that's a lot darker. Could you, this is just a question, not necessarily a suggestion, but could you just change, like make some little tweaks to make the one you're currently writing darker? Or would it have to be something separate? Cassia just keeps getting more and more interesting. Hope I'll get to the scene with her soon so I can finally see her in writing. Good luck, Laurel. The first time was not a cult. Okay, so he had said it before, and then he made the mistake of reminding everyone during a Cult of the Lamb stream, and now everyone knows. It just seems like something has brought it back into everyone's consciousness, because it's been coming up a lot lately. I could tweak it. That is an option, but I'm not sure if I want to or just make something new. That makes sense. That makes sense, Lumina. Bard, I know you'll never forget. You remember all the important things. Have I mentioned that one of the reasons why I have specific accent redeems instead of a general state your accent redeem is because you come up with too many good accents and I am not worthy. I do not have the talent or skill to do those accents. It's my favorite ghost fact. Nice. You're too good at coming up with accents, Bard. I need to save those really good ones for Ghost. He has the talent and versatility to do them. I'm having very Beauty and the Beast style ideas, like MC is chased into territory she should not be in, and someone who is technically evil but more just protects her. I love those kinds of stories. First of all, can I just say that in the fabulous Disney film Beauty and the Beast, the animated version, he should have just stayed as the Beast forever, because the Beast was way better than the Prince, but I love Beauty and the Beast style stories. I have a few of those myself. I really like them. I really like the idea of someone who seems really hard and unyielding and mean, who actually like takes care of somebody else and protects them. No, yeah, he should have. Yeah, exactly. No, like, in my head and heart, he was the Beast forever. They fell in love, and they kissed, and he stayed the Beast. He healed as the Beast. If you like Beauty and the Beast and wish Beast stayed Beast, you should watch Strange Magic. Okay. Is that a movie or a TV show? Because I am very interested. I may have to watch it without Ghost Pepper. It may not be his jam. All right, we have one more place to name and describe. Let's do it. Let's see. Valley. Ooh, it doesn't have Valley. It has Void and Volcano. Cafe, Camp, Casino, Castle, Cave. Circus. Continent. I'm looking for like lowland names. I found something that they don't actually have a generator for in here. I'm shocked. Music store names. Pizzeria. Quasar names. Steampunk house names. Some of these sound really cool. I wish I had a steampunk story so I could use some steampunk house names. Waterfall names, huh? I don't know that that's going to help us, but it was cool. Let's look at... Let's look at mountain names. Or mountain pass names, maybe? Oh, the Notch of Promises sounds really dirty. Is there a ghost peeper? Is there a ghost pepper after eating Little Nitro waterfall name? I don't know. Do you want to create one? Strange Magic is my favorite movie of all time on Netflix. Well, thank you for letting me know about it, Lumina Games, and I will definitely look into watching it. I had an interesting scene with her appear in my mind today at work, so it got me excited. Nice! Involved the reveal of her individual deity ability. Super cool, Laurel. I hope you get to write it soon. Pretty sure K.F. Breen did an adult Beauty and the Beast story as well. Oh, interesting. Also, if you missed it, Ghost Pepper, Bard said, hi, Nate Dog. So, maybe you were ignoring that, but now you hopefully can't. Just so you know. I'm not sure how you alerted everybody. That is Bard's favorite ghost fact, yes. I'm not sure how you alerted everybody as to that being a thing that they could call you, but I'm interested to hear the story. Anyway, the Notch of Promises sounds really dirty. I have a colleague who calls me Nate Dog. Do I know which colleague? Oh, look! The Gap of Ghost! It generated us a name called the Gap of Ghost. It's Ghost's Gap. Not dirty at all. It's Lauren. Oh, okay. Pretty sure it's the scene that's going to be in the middle of the book, but soon enough. Nice. The Gap of Ghost after Little Nitro. I don't like any of these. The Notch of Promises that just... Fregronto would be cool. Hang on, let me change some of those letters. V-R-E. Fregronto? Maybe. I like that. To be clear, I'm not trying to name a waterfall. I'm trying to name a valley. Ooh, the Path of Surprises. The Enchanting Passage also has connotations to me. In case you can't tell, I'm super mature, you guys. And I'm never remotely childish. Shrulance Notch? Alright. I think we're gonna go with one of these names. Maybe Vigranto. Um, Whoops, I just gave up on spelling that word, let's be honest. Sounds like a Lover's Lane type place where young couples could get ended by a dude with a hook hand. Exactly. Why is excellent so hard to spell? I know, right? The one that always gets me is exasperation. But I just gave up halfway through spelling variety, so who am I to talk? Okay, so the Vigranto Valley is located a few miles from the exit of the Aurelium Abyss in Brusconia, another kingdom that we're going to have to do something with at some point. It is well known because the area surrounding it is basically inhospitable, mostly mountain passes, but it is a paradise because some quality of the water makes plant life grow quickly and prolifically, essentially. So stuff grows really well there. I'm thinking there is a small village located there that sort of guards and tends the spring from which the water in this area flows, and considers it a sacred space. And like many of the other places on this pilgrimage, it is a place where water mages will come to find or charge sources. So we've had places where light shadow mages go, we've had places where earth mages go, and now we're going to have a place where water mages go. So I'm thinking in the next book we're going to have to do a place of fire and a place of air. What's Ghost's career? Don't remember, but one of his colleagues calls him Nate Dogg, and that's the best thing ever. Oh my goodness. It'll be, if you forget everything else about Ghost Pepper, it'll be the thing you remember. I can tell my brain has just, I've been wordsing all day. It's almost 5:30. My brain is just like, yeah, words exist, but you don't know how to spell them anymore. Hit 40K, Lumina Games, congratulations, that's amazing. Enjoy your break, because don't forget, you promised yourself a break. What's Ghost, oh, I read that one already. What's Ghost's career? Don't know, but one of his colleagues calls him Nate Dogg. So the last detail that I'm adding about this valley, because this is pertinent to this particular plot, and then this is actually it. This is what I consider full development for getting started on this book, is that the area surrounding this particular magical valley is prone to magical natural disasters. So something about the magic that permeates this area makes it somewhat fragile and prone to magic causing things like earthquakes or the opening of fissures or weird mixing of elemental magic that doesn't happen elsewhere in the world, and that has been causing problems in this area with more frequency, because that's something that's going to come up in the book. So I'm going to write that down, and then we're going to be done. We're going to be ready to start writing this story next week. I'm super excited about that. But first, for tomorrow's stream, for my last stream of the week, we're going to be doing a writing prompt. And the writing prompt for this week is going to be, I believe it's the character wakes up to hamsters in the room. Character wakes to find hedgehogs in their room. I have a plan for that, so I'm super excited to have some fun with that. Did I come in at the very end? I have a little bit more to write, but yes, Janine, unfortunately we're wrapping up because I have to go feed Ghost Pepper now that he's home from teaching kids. Does it involve speed? It might. I mean, hedgehogs. I thought it was hamsters, but now that I realize it's hedgehogs, I mean, they have to be zoomy, right? That's an amazing prompt, right? Feel free to use it, Bard. I found it online. It's not mine. I claim no ownership of it. I am a magical natural disaster. I feel that, Laurel. Nate Dogg's gotta eat. That's right. Nate Dogg's gotta eat. He's gonna come up from downstairs and, like, straight up murder me for calling him Nate Dogg, like, 50 times on stream. I realized my issue with my writing. I've been depending too much on other people for my writing confidence. That is very hard to recognize, Janine, but I'm glad that you can see that, because no one else should get to have as strong an opinion of your work, like as strong a weighted opinion as you. You are the one, first and foremost, that should be pleased by what you're working on. And if you're happy with it, that's what should matter the most. Absolutely. Refuel after teaching the youth all day. Exactly. I have some chicken in the crock pot. I'm gonna shred it and put it in some bread with some cheese and some spinach, and it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be super nummy. Okay, so the area surrounding Vagranto Village is considered volatile. I should make this valley, actually. The valley is volatile and often unstable due to the magic permeating the land. There we go. So we have a place that is basically a breadbasket for the country that it occupies and some of its surrounding areas because plants grow very quickly and abundantly here. But it is an unstable place due to the magic in the local area. It is facing increasing natural disasters, and no one is quite sure how to deal with it in a way that isn't going to prevent more problems from arising. I'm pretty happy because I've named a couple of countries in here. I don't feel like I necessarily need to develop them now. I don't necessarily need to know all of the politics because we're not going to be seeing any capitals. We're not going to be seeing any leaders. We're going to be seeing mostly common people in small areas. But I'm really happy that some of these places came up and that some of these things have been established because for the second book, we're going to start seeing a more defined look at the map and I'm going to start needing to come up with some of these things like the cultures and borders and all that sort of stuff for these countries. So having a basis for some of them already gives me something to build off of and something to start thinking about and to start developing while I'm digging into the story. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that next week. We're going to start writing the story based on this lovely outline here that we have just finished here on stream. And I'm excited. Hopefully, if all goes well, early next year, we'll come back to this and we'll build more into the world and start working on detailed information for book 2. But first, we got to write book 1. You do not need to out yourself to be like that. Would it make you feel better if I told you a dumb nickname that someone used to call me? I've had a gnarly stomach bug the last couple of days. Yeah, Bart isn't feeling the best, so we gotta send her all the good vibes and all the love so that she hopefully feels better soon. It was not the best way to spend a birthday. I'm so glad you were able to celebrate your birthday a little bit before the day. Hopefully you felt good the day you actually, went out and celebrated. And hopefully you feel better soon so that you can celebrate some more. This is gonna be it for me today. I'm so excited. We accomplished so much. Let's see who is streaming so we can see about a raid. My theater English history teacher in high school called me corn dog. Was there a particular reason why they called you corn dog? Is there a story behind that? Who is around? Who is writing? Joe is streaming again? Joe was streaming earlier. It was his special little nickname for me. It was based on my real life name, but honestly not sure exactly how he got to it. Interesting. Did you like being called corn dog or did you hate it? Let's see. Who's doing what? I think actually most of the writers that I follow right now are playing games. So if anyone has any suggestions of where they would like to go for a raid, let me know. It's kind of really out there, but one of our friends, Valkyr, who had to take a massive streaming break for a long time, is online and streaming, and I'm tempted to raid her. She does not do anything writing related. She's playing Dead by Daylight, but she is a friend who has been struggling to get back in the streaming game, and I would love to drop some love on her if you guys would feel up to that. If we would prefer to drop in on a writer, I can do a search and see what writers I don't know are around. Writers. Wow, I definitely got some not so great search results for that. I think it was like Con Dog, but devolved into Corn Dog. He was one of my favorite teachers. Well, that's nice. I think I know your real life name, and I don't know how you would go from there to Corn Dog. I don't either, but you know, some people make logic leaps that the rest of us don't. Does anybody have any suggestions or preferences for raids today? I think from a lot of the people that we have lurking, most of you would be okay with dropping in on Val, but I just want to give somebody a chance to object. There are not, yeah, I follow quite a few writers. There's no one who's familiar to me who is a writer who is actually doing writing on stream. In fact, all of the writers that I actively follow are playing games right now. We could drop in on Telenartho. He does have a sprint timer running, but he is playing a game. Which is cool. I mean, it's still super chill to hang out with, but he is playing Magic the Gathering. My Gothic Storyteller is playing Apex Legends. So most of my writer friends are taking the night off, I think. So why don't we drop in... I'm probably about to lay down anyway, so I don't have any preference one way or another. Let's drop in on Val. I totally, guys, I know if you came here for writing and you were hoping to pass on to someone who is doing writing sprints, I totally understand if you want to bail. No pressure at all. But Val is super awesome. A good friend of Ghosts and mine. We actually got to meet her while we were out in Ontario. She took an extended, I think like 7-month break from streaming and has just started getting back into things. So I'd really like to drop over, give her some love, say hey. I'm not sure how much longer she's planning to go, but I think she actually started a new job this week as well. So it would be cool to say hey, catch up, see how she's doing. And again, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. PST with a writing prompt. I'll be doing some more actual writing. In fact, I know we've been doing a lot of editing and a lot of planning and all that kind of stuff. Most of my streams from now on should be writing streams again. We're going to write Someone's Errant Child, the first book in Everyone's Child. And the other project that I'm going to be working on is I'm going to be starting book 10 of the Aravalia Chronicles. I'm going to be writing books 10, 11, and 12 of that. 10 and 11 should be this year. So one of those will be during Nano, and then book 12 will be probably at the beginning of next year. So we should be back to like full on writing. I've done my time in the editing cave and all that nonsense. And we should be getting back to full on writing productivity. So I'm excited about that because, man, am I ready to just do raw creation again. So I hope to see you then. Let me stop gabbing and get this raid started. Please feel free to use any emotes. I do not have Stream Elements set up to talk as me, so those emotes will work for you if you are subscribed. It's mind-blowingly impressive to me that you're capable of writing so many books in a series. I am incapable of not writing long series. I can't write a one-off. I've tried. It just grows into a million other things. So I have nothing but respect for people who can write one-off stories. Thanks again so much to everyone who came and hung out today. Lumina Games, thank you so much for hanging out and saying such wonderful, sweet things. I hope you're enjoying your break, and I hope you hit your word count goals, if not today, tomorrow. Bard, thank you so much for hanging out. I know you're not feeling well. I really appreciate it. Nate Dog, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence. I'll see you after the stream. And just to everyone, Exiled Faye, Laurel Tabby, Halo Banshee, people I know hung out, said hi. Snozberries, I hope you have good luck with your schooling tomorrow. I love you all. I'm so sorry. I can't mention everyone. The timer's counting down, but I love you so much. You're all the best, and I can't wait to see you again. Take care.